All right, welcome to the Ironwood Gym. Today, I want to go over an ab exercise that I've been doing for several years, and it's kind of a mainstay in my training. It's a very effective exercise for strengthening my abs and strengthening them through an abdominal flexion or a spinal flexion movement in which I'm pulling my shoulders, I'm anchored down below, and I'm pulling my shoulders down towards my hips, okay? This ab exercise is called cable ab pull downs. I'm going to show you two different ways to do it. I've actually misinterpreted the way that I learned it when I first learned it many years ago and started doing it that way. Did it that way for many years and then discovered that I was doing it wrong. All right, not necessarily wrong, it's just different. I'm going to show you both ways so you can pick which one you like better, or which one you think helps you more, or maybe you want to do both of them. The first variation, basically you could do it on any cable setup that you have something behind you, such as this pad, to brace yourself with. So as you're doing the pull down with your abs, that you're kind of anchored in the bottom, okay? Or anchored, your hips or legs are anchored so that you're not moving too much, and that you have something a little bit to push against or pull against with your abs. Okay, so this is a pretty simple exercise. I'm just going to straddle that bench. If you're on a regular lat pull machine, you just straddle that seat, okay, with your hamstrings about midway up your hamstrings, braced up against that pad. Your feet, you don't want them directly underneath you like you're standing straight. You want to put them back a little bit, but you don't want to put them back so much that you're utilizing your legs just to create leverage. Okay, this isn't a leverage exercise, it's an exercise to strengthen the abs. Okay, so we want to get them back a little bit so we have something to pull with, but we're not just trying to create leverage. Okay, from there, you're going to pull the weight down tight, and the rope should be pulled tight to your chest and shoulders. Okay, now from here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to crunch down. Okay, and then control it back up. As I come back up, I want to release my glutes and abs a little bit, and then crunch again. Okay, do a couple more here. Okay, so I do want my feet back a little bit, not too much. Okay, you don't want to get them way back. Or so you can see it here, you don't want to get them way back behind you, so you're just leaning into the weight and creating leverage. You want to get them back just enough so that you have a firm footing on the ground, because as you lean forward, that weight's kind of going to pull on your feet a little bit, and you want them secured and dug into the ground. Now I mentioned relaxing at the top, so as I come back up, I don't necessarily just want to relax, but I want my hips, I want to kind of release my glutes and release my abs and bring my hips through. That way I'm getting a full range of motion, I'm getting more of a stretch in my abs, which will in turn help strengthen my abs more, having to crunch down from that weakened position, okay, or that overly stretched position. If I only come part way up to here, I maintain tension, I crunch down, I'm not gonna fully strengthen my abs. I want to release, I want to get my hips through a little bit, let my abs kind of relax, and then crunch down again. Okay, so that's cable ab pull downs. That's the variation that I prefer to do. Again, kind of a mainstay in my training. This is an exercise that I really like as far as abdominal flexion or spinal flexion. It doesn't have to be done all the time. I don't do it all the time. I rotate other exercises in, but this is definitely an exercise that I have liked for a number of years. And I've kept it in for a number of years because I do feel it is a very effective exercise. All right, now we're going to move forward a little bit, and we're going to go to the other variation, the way that I misinterpreted and kind of got it wrong, and I'm going to show you that how to do that. All right, so this variation of the cable ab pull down really just involves a cable that you're not going to have any support. Okay, so you're not going to utilize a bench or those pads from a lat pull machine to brace your hamstrings against or brace your legs. All right, you're just going to have to support all the weight on your own. So you basically do it the same way. You're going to pull that down tight and you're going to step out. Wider than shoulder width stance. Okay, now notice now I've got a little bit of a forward lean. Okay, I'm going to have to do that because the weight is pulling at me from up above and behind. All right, so I've got to lean into it a little bit. At the same time, my abs are becoming active right away, because if my abs weren't active, it would just pull me back. All right, so I have to have my abs active right from the beginning. And the further you step out, or the more the weight is pulling from behind you. So if I stepped out a lot further, then it's going to be pulling harder on me. Okay. The other difference here is you're not going to be able to use nearly as much weight. I was using, and these are light weights, and depending upon your setup, these weights won't mean anything to you, but I had 70 pounds on there before, which wasn't really a heavy weight, it's just demonstration purposes. And this weight here is about 35 pounds. Okay, so about half of what I was using before. And that's really not a good indicator, because this is good for you, because your setup is going to be different than mine. Therefore, the weight differential between the two exercises will also be different. But this exercise is basically executed the same way. Pull it down tight, walk out away from the cable, or away from the stack, a little bit wider than shoulder width stance. I've got that forward lean, but I still want my hips through, so I can try to relax my hips, my hip flexors, and my abs. Now, the same thing. I'm going to crunch down. As I come back up, I try to get those hips all the way through, a little bit of a relaxation, and then crunch down again. Okay? And especially right at the start of the movement, I'm really going to have to crunch my abs hard, okay, because it's trying to pull me back, and I don't have anything to brace against. So I got to use my abs a lot to get that weight started moving as I crunch my abs, and then I come back up. Okay. Again, either exercise can be good. Neither one is wrong. All right, neither one is wrong. They are very different in what you're going to be getting out of them. Both abdominal strength, but one, your body, your abs have to completely support the weight and prevent the weight from pulling you back. The other one, you do have something to brace against, which will help you stay in position better. I prefer the other exercise because I can utilize more weight. I feel like my abs are working a lot harder versus this exercise, or this variation without the support. Even though my abs have to work very hard at the start of that crunch, it doesn't really, to me, feel like they're working hard all the way through the range of motion, like when I have support behind my legs. So, like I said, neither one is wrong. Try them both out. Figure out which one is going to help you the most and do that one, or maybe work both of them into your program. As far as programming goes, generally 10 to 15 reps. You might want to go up to about 20 reps per set, but generally 10 to 15 reps is going to get you a good amount of weight on there to really work strengthening your abs. And maybe 2 or 3 sets per workout, okay? And I would only toss these in once or twice a week. You can certainly do that more than that. I just tend to use other exercises throughout the week as far as other ab exercises goes. But you could definitely do them 2 or 3, 4 times a week, being an ab exercise, 10 to 15 reps per set, 2 to 3 sets per workout, and you would get a lot out of this. Until next time, always be in the pursuit of strength.